Hello, this is CJ Lindberg, and if you're watching this video, you have a problem. You would like to sell a capital asset, most likely real estate, but you're concerned about the tax obligation. Plus, we have an iffy real estate market right now. I'm recording this video in November of 2022, and we had a great market all throughout this calendar year, but with the interest rates rising and people being unable to afford homes, it's becoming more and more difficult, and we're potentially going into more of a 2008 type market with recession looming around the corner. So you might want to get rid of that or sell that asset now, but you don't want to pay $30,000 or more to the tax man. So we can help you with that problem. So today I've got attorney Frank Seifert with me, and we're going to discuss the GEP Trust. And Frank is an expert in such things. But before we get into his credentials and the details of the trust, I think it's better we define the problem first. So, Frank, why don't you say hello and go ahead and let us know what's going on in the real estate market.
It's a real pleasure to be here today. There is so much about this correction in the news that what comes to mind for me is what we learned from the 2008 correction, and that was the importance of having liquidity. Cash on hand. What happens if you lose a tenant and you're trying to replace that person? You need a way to bridge that gap. Secondly, if something comes up that you'd like to take advantage of during a correction, you would have the cash available for it. So this global estate planning trust is quite unique and will address the issue of liquidity. You actually have the money available to you now, but we'll show you how to get to it.
Okay, great, Frank. Why should somebody listen to you? What are your qualifications for dealing with this trust?
So I'm an attorney. I was a JAG officer in the Air Force. After that, I got into a trial practice and then segued into venture capital. In 2015, I discovered this trust. And although I have trust background, I bought this trust, and I'll explain why that's the case. But it is remarkable, the features that it offers.
Okay, how about providing a brief history of this GEP trust?
Thank you. This trust was drafted in 1970 by a Harvard trust professor. He retired to Houston and wrote this trust specifically for large oil and gas companies to protect their land holdings and to avoid taxes. So it was specifically done for real estate. In 1999, this trust was copyrighted by the man who is currently the attorney of record for the trust. So this trust has over a 50-year history, and it has established a lot of trusts, and I work with them directly because it just makes so much sense. By the way, in addition to my own benefit from the trust, I provided it to my venture clients. And when you hear how good it is, you'll see why they took interest in it.
Okay, what are the primary tax benefits of the trust?
According to the Internal Revenue Code, this trust will exclude capital gains from the calculation of taxable income. So in other words, there is no tax on capital gains. What does that include? It includes real estate, crypto, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, anything that earns a capital gain. The tax is eliminated under this tax code provision. The second provision, and by the way, I will discuss this with anybody who has an interest in the trust. It eliminates the tax on rent and lease income. So the two big centers of profit in real estate is covered under this tax code section, and there is no tax applies.
Let me get this straight. So not only would this, potentially eliminate a tax on a sale, but actually the passive income, well, one could argue it's not passive, but rental income, you said, lease income.
Yes.
Okay.
No tax.
Awesome.
So what does that mean? Right now, people have a big reserve account for their tax liability. Once they have those properties or any other capital assets in this trust, they don't have to maintain that account to cover taxes. There will be no tax. So right there, that money it creates the liquidity for what's coming. And that assumes that the people have this trust. And by the way, they will be the trustee of this trust, so they will control everything. And this trust will avoid the tax.
And transferring an asset to this trust, real estate asset, it's pretty simple, right?
Yes, it is. We handle everything. By the way, 20 minutes, the application is completed. We will apply for the EIN number. We'll supply a certificate of trust. The person takes that to the bank, opens up their trust account, and that's where the deposits from a sale go to. No tax.
Okay, great. So, what should somebody do if they want to check this out further?
First, they should get in touch with you, and then I will assist. We will go through everything. And by the way, we will send out an introduction to the trust that gives an overview of it. But then we will do a call where we actually look at the tax code. We look at the words of the trust itself and how it complies with the tax code. And finally, we'll look at a seminar. There was a national seminar that was put on by the IRS that discusses the tax code provision that applies to this trust and gives it the benefits that we've described.
Okay, so if you want to learn more about the GEP Trust, please contact me, CJ, at onlinecj13@gmail.com. I will put my email address in the description below. And I'll take you through a short screening process. And after that, we'll make arrangements to have a phone conference or a Zoom call with Frank and go over the GEP Trust in more detail. That's all I have, and we will see you hopefully very soon to talk more about the trust. Bye.